Buddha, will you lay off that stuff already?
Oh, and you're one to talk with all your internet porn?
Watching porn isn't like doing coke, fag.
Did you think that went too far? Are you willing to commit an act of violence over it? God, I hope not. And the answer should be no, since that wasn't the scene that got it banned. As angry as Christians and Buddhists may be, they did not threaten explosions over this, which is the reason it was banned, and not just from syndication, but even HBO, where it now streams. HBO, where this is okay, but apparently this is not. And that's not me censoring it, that's the show. It's part of the joke and the episode's story, which is that Muhammad has the magical ability to not be made fun of, hence the censor. And Tom Cruise and the other celebrities want to transfer that power to themselves so that shows like South Park can't call him a
fudgepacker.
But despite the censor, the episode was banned due to its portrayal of the Prophet Muhammad. Its non-existent portrayal. And some of you might be thinking, political correctness, but no, it was factually just the threat of violence. Since it's against Muslim culture to depict Muhammad or any of the prophets out of fear that it could lead to idolatry, so to certain groups this means threatening and sometimes following through on acts of violence. In fact, the controversy that inspired Trey Parker and Matt Stone, the creators of South Park, to write this episode, that controversy literally ended in death, over a few panels of a silly cartoon. And you want to know something funny? Hilarious, in fact? Despite all this actual innocent death and threats of violence controlling our media and stuff, I promise you're still gonna find this funny. So the fact that these episodes got themselves and the previous one banned literally proves the message that they were sending. Here's a now priceless clip from the ending of the original.
Don't you see, Gingers? If you don't want to be made fun of anymore, all you need are guns and bombs to get people to stop.
That's right, friends. All you need to do is instill fear and be willing to hurt people, and you can get whatever you want. The only true power is violence.
Yeah.
I honestly think if the death threats getting these episodes banned doesn't make this scene funny to you, like at least worth a smirk or a nose exhale, then just give up on South Park. You will never like it. I also think that it's amazing that the joke they were making, which wasn't really so much a joke as an observation, literally proved true even for them a decade after they released the actually offensive episode. Because as you can see, while they don't have Jesus and Buddha doing not safe for work stuff in this episode, they do what they didn't dare do in the later episodes that we're covering right now. They showed Muhammad. I mean, it's kind of shocking to go from not showing him at all a decade later to just having him fully there in the episode. And he looks cool, plus he can shoot fire. That's dope. So whether these episodes should have been banned or not doesn't matter, because they just are. But I honestly do wonder how it's possible that the censored version of Muhammad is the one that resulted in threats. I mean, I guess the Muslims were sleeping on South Park, so let's not do that. Let's watch at least all the controversial religious figure scenes, just enough to get the blood boiling. And we'll get to see how much fun can be made of other religions without any violence happening, which to be clear is the way it should be. In America, the First Amendment means we can make fun of Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad, whoever, and we should not be arrested or threatened or physically harmed simply because we don't hold a specific set of religious beliefs, whether that's Christian beliefs, Hindu beliefs, or any other. And while as a Christian you may feel singled out in an episode of Family Guy where they just make fun of Jesus, objectively South Park is doing a better job here by bringing a bunch of religious figures into the show, because by satirizing everyone's beliefs, they're highlighting how similar our cultures can look from the outside, and how absurd all human religions are. Which isn't to say we shouldn't believe what we believe in, but it is important to remember that our beliefs shouldn't be considered more important or treated any differently than somebody else's. Everybody thinks their religion is the only right one. I know I do, and that's funny. It should be funny. You can think you're right, and I think I'm right, and that's something we can all relate to and find a comedy in together. So with all the grandstanding and justifying out of the way, let's watch a cartoon make fun of billions of people's various religions for 2 episodes and then get itself banned.
Jesus, all we're asking to do is bring Muhammad to our town for like an hour.
Muhammad cannot make public appearances. We simply cannot risk any violence from the Muslim people.
Aw, not you guys too! Jesus fucking Christ!
Boys, you need to understand that people get very offended when Muhammad is mocked because he's a religious figure. Buddha, don't do coke in front of kids.
Eventually, they convince Jesus and the super best friends to let Muhammad go in a U-Haul where he can't be seen or heard. On top of which, he's in a costume. On top of which, it's not actually Muhammad in there, it's Santa. But Tom Cruise and the celebrities do eventually get Muhammad, and he transfers the power to himself before Jesus and the super best friends save the day by beating up Tom Cruise and the Gingers, who also wanted Muhammad's power to not be made fun of, which makes sense. And then we got the final scene.
Don't you see, Gingers? If you don't want to be made fun of anymore, all you need are guns and bombs to get people to stop.
That's right, friends. All you need to do is instill fear and be willing to hurt people, and you can get whatever you want. The only true power is violence.
Yeah.
And look, honestly, if there is a takeaway from all this, I think it's 1, violence is wrong even if you do get what you want, and 2,
Don't do coke in front of kids.
let me know if there's anything else you'd like me to cover.